welcome back to my channel, Being Louisa. So today's video is sponsored by nurses.co.uk. Nurses.co.uk is an online website where you can find all things nursing, from job posts to their blog posts. And on their blog section, you can find tips and tricks on nursing school and what it's like to be a student nurse and a nurse in general. And also there's a midwifery section that's growing with us. Today's video, as you can tell from the title, is called the top 5 most unexpected truths about midwifery. Just there. So I actually did go around and ask people I know what they think the most unexpected truth was about midwifery. And then also, it's so cool, last week a blog post was posted on the Secret Community Facebook page, and it was by a student midwife in Australia, and I put an inset from there in this as well because it's so true what she says. But yeah, so let's get on. Starting number 5. Not every midwife is nice or compassionate. Now that may be a bit shocking, since especially here in the UK we have these 6 C's, and one of them is to be caring and the other one is to be compassionate. And that's a really big thing for the NHS here in the UK. You have to have those 6 C's, and if you don't have care or compassion, like what? That's a bit crazy, but it's true. That's a lot of the experiences from some people that are students and what they have observed in clinic as well. Number 4. Sometimes midwifery is directed by the doctors. Now, as you go more into the hospital and go into hospital care especially, then yeah, it is quite dictated by doctors sometimes, especially if you're on the wards. Yeah, sometimes the doctors are right and you should listen to the doctors, but sometimes you are right and your instincts are right, or your thoughts are right, or your training is right, but the doctors are like, we've got to be on my timing, we've got to do this then and not then because I've got something else to do then. Or, you know, like a lot of the time midwifery is medicalized, and so that's why the doctors do dictate what happens and what midwives do, especially when you start interfering with labor and birth. It does definitely get taken over by the doctors in that sense. Like, you've got to go for them for approval for certain things, and you find that everywhere really. And that also leads into my last point, but I'm gonna leave that for the last one. But yeah, number 3, side note before I tell you number 3, this does depend on the unit. It changes from unit to unit and from hospital to hospital, and it also changes depending on what technology you have available and what technology you do not have. However, number 3 is midwifery means with women, but a lot of the time we are not with women. Now, in antenatal care, we have 20 to 40 minutes depending again on your unit and what's available and how subscribed your clinic is. 20 to 40 minutes is not a lot of time to get to know women, for that woman to get to know you, for that woman to build trust with you and build a relationship, to tell you everything that's going on with her life, if there's any domestic violence, if there's any mental health issues. That's not a lot of time. And also, new mothers have so many questions, but they feel the pressure that they can't ask those questions because of the short time frame. Now also labour and delivery, depending again on the unit, what's available, a lot of the time you're outside of the room writing notes, or you're in the room and you're writing notes. You have so much notes to write, guys, that you don't always get to spend a lot of time bonding or connecting with the women. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you're really lucky and you get to spend so much time with the women, and you can still like pop out for a bit, write your notes and go back in. That's great. But don't be surprised when you're not with the women constantly. And then also postnatally, a midwife has between 4 to 8, I think there might be more beds, I'm not sure in other units, but you have about 4 to 8 other women and babies to look after. That's not a lot of one-to-one care that's given, and sometimes if you give loads of one-to-one care to one of your women, then someone else is gonna suffer from that. So it's really hard, but we are understaffed and that's just how it is, and it is kind of sad. Number 2, unfortunately, not everyone is treated the same, and that is reflected in the maternal mortality and morbidity rate here in the UK and in other places like America. Let me get the exact numbers. So the stats are from the Embrace report that was released in November 2018, looking at the occurrences from 2014 to 2016. This was looking at the mortality and morbidity rates, which are the deaths and then also the subsequent injuries from pregnancy, labour, and delivery. It was found that Black and Asian women were at a higher risk of dying in pregnancy. So 8 out of 100,000 women would die, and those 8 would be white women. And then 15 Asian women out of 100,000 women would die. And then 40 Black women out of 100,000 women would die. This is in the UK. Not even is likely to die, have died. What? And then last but not least, number 1, this is going to be the excerpt from the blog post I was telling you guys about. I can't find it again, which is so annoying, so I wanted to put it in the description, but hopefully some of you guys saw it and you guys will know which one I'm talking about. But basically she's talking about how we go in all rose tinted glasses, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like, you know, we're going to be with women, because that's what midwifery is. Midwifery is with women. And what the realities of that is actually really like once you go in there. So this is a student midwife in Australia who, this is her experience of it. I'm so sorry I don't know who you are, but you was anonymous for a reason, I guess. I just want to say thank you, because when I read this I was like, that's exactly how I feel sometimes. But yeah, so this is the part that I just took out. Our university education aims to facilitate this passion, underpinned with feminist theory, enabling critical thinking, the use of evidence, and the ability to learn how to apply clinical skill with heart and soul. Then, at some point, the on-the-ground practice begins. We set foot into the hospital. Here, we fall into the deep chasm between theory and practice and experience the raw and visceral realities of the midwifery culture which exists at present. Where we thought we would be supporting women and the spectacular physiology of birth, we find the technocratic perspectives in full force at every turn, in every space, be it antenatal, birth suite, or postnatal. We view women being actively disempowered, intervened with, and unsupported every damn day. She's right. She's so right. It's scary and crazy, and like, it is shocking that moment when you actually realize, wow, this isn't what I completely thought it was going to be. Like, I knew there'd be technology involved and I knew this would be happening, but wow, like, it's that moment that everyone talks about when they realize their parents aren't actually like superheroes and that they're actually real people and they make mistakes. It's like that moment all over again for midwifery. Like, you realize, wow, we're not just with women, we're not championing women to like believe in their bodies and believe in themselves and what their bodies can do. Like, we actually want to take control and be like, no, actually, let's do it this way and do it that way, because it's easier for you, like the midwife, and not them, the women giving birth. So yeah, it's really crazy. But these are just some things to think about. I'm not bashing it, because guys, midwifery is amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love midwifery. There's times when I'm like, oh, this is so much, but I love it. I love actually just getting to be with a woman and help a woman and comfort a woman and be there for her and champion her on. That's what I do, and I love that I get to do that even more as a student midwife, because I don't have all the pressures of being a qualified midwife just yet. But I love championing them on and being like, you can do this, like, you've got this, you're doing amazing, and you're gonna love the end result. But yeah, so yeah, I do love midwifery, just so you know. I thought this video might have been a bit bashy. I don't mean to bash it. I just wanted to like let you guys know like those unexpected things. But what all those people that said those things will say to you is that midwifery is amazing and you can be that change that society needs. So just remember that you can be the change. And in the meantime, keep on being you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below with any questions or suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe to get weekly updates. Bye y'all.